Hey Tim, look at this.
Needs work.
Hey Tim, how about this?
Still needs work.
Darn it. How about this?
Nice, high five.
Hey there everybody, how's it going?
My name's Tim.
And my name's Michael.
And
this is PY. Welcome to the show, PY.
Hi.
It's been a while that you've been wanting to get on the show. We're glad we could finally get you on. And you've got some coffee.
At a decent hour, I've got my coffee.
Yes.
Has that got the official Starbucks thing on it and everything?
Why, yes it is.
Oh.
This episode is brought to you by...
Dumb Starbucks.
That place is dumb delicious.
If anybody, look it up. You'll know what we're talking about. So, we have PY on today. PY is a friend of ours, and he's also a roomie with our buddy Tim.
I know.
And so you guys get
And an intern.
And an intern.
No,
So he works in the castle.
Can I get some food after this? You haven't fed me in 2 days.
We're not in charge of
we don't have any budget for
budget's
that.
gone.
No.
I don't. Anyway, so I was actually looking at some of your work, what I like to call your work, back when we met, and so this is why we wanted to get you on the show. So what we're gonna do with our magic little thing here is we're gonna throw up on the screen. Look at that! That is Sora. That is you as Sora. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what this is and why you do it?
That is obviously a costume.
Mm-hmm.
More apropos, cosplay.
Cosplay. And what is cosplay for those who may not know what cosplay is?
It's when you dress in a costume and kind of take on the persona of that character. I guess that's like the ultimate extreme. But hey, if you just want to dress up as the character you like, and then a lot of times we go to Comic-Con or Anime Expo or stuff like that, and there's like thousands of people in costumes. We call it cosplay because you costume play.
I think we have another one. Don't you have a link for us?
Yes, I do!
Here, I'll throw this up with you.
Go for it.
Bam! There we
Bam.
are. And I love your link. And the other thing too that I wanted to say, because I'm coming from a costuming background in theater as one of my sabbatical subjects, I see a lot of costumes put together. I've done a little bit of cosplay myself, and when it comes to recreating costumes, it's a challenge. So I wanted to hear a little bit about your process of when you look at a character and you say, I want to be that person, where you even start collecting your materials, or where you go when you start saying, I want to look like this.
Goodwill.
Okay, well.
That's not a bad. I know for some people may go what, but there's a thrift store that I go to, Savers.
Yes, big yes.
Yeah.
And you sift through the 50 billion costume accessories, and you're just like, this would work. No, this would work.
It's
oh
funny.
my goodness!
Oh, dude, I was looking for a Doctor Who shirt. I think I wore it on the show once, and I picked up a shirt that looked like the right color, and I take it home, and I pull up a screenshot, and I look at the pattern on the shirt, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty much the same thing. All right.
Right. And
worked.
it's funny because we say costumes, because, a thrift store essentially, while we're breaking it down, people are donating, clothes back to either Goodwill or Society, and then when you buy from a thrift store, those, or Goodwill, those proceeds go to help other organizations. So that's the sort of, the thing of the gifting. So, they're just clothes, if you think about them. We call them costumes, but I've costumed more shows than I can count from a thrift store.
Right?
Yeah, so, I also wanted to say, you had some visual aids for us, didn't you?
Yes,
I
do.
Which one did you want me to grab first for you?
Both of them!
Oh, both of them?
Actually, I'm wearing a shirt that's very
There you
apropos.
Oh, okay.
Good thing that we're talking about
Right.
Zelda.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So what am I looking at here?
This is, of course, the Master Sword.
And-
It is a foam LARP type Master Sword, so it kind of...
Well, now we're not scared of it.
LARPing for the... Oh, well. For
Now I'm
those
going to host a show with PY for the rest of my life.
I'm PY, this is Tim.
Hello. The TPI show.
LARPing, live action roleplay for the you folks. Where'd you get? Is this a incarnation of any particular game, Master Sword? Because we've
This
had a
is
couple.
the Skyward Sword, to be exact, though they're pretty much all pretty similar with very slight nuances.
Okay, and where'd you pick this one up?
Careful not to show the other side, because this is kind of a cheap side one. It's
Oh, okay.
using
I
the
got
rubber.
I didn't see that.
All
So
right.
where'd you pick this one? Where'd you pick this one up?
This was from eBay and Amazon. Like they're pretty cheap.
Wow.
Oh, really?
But there's gaming sites that have these.
Now it sounds like you mentioned first Goodwill and
Mhm.
then eBay and Amazon. So it sounds like a lot of your stuff is coming kind of secondhand or maybe from like a vendor or something, as opposed to being like a brand name piece of attire or prop or what have you. Is that the way most cosplayers get their equipment?
I think there's probably multiple tiers. I think there's like junior varsity and varsity. The junior varsity would be like me, like where we just like find stuff, piece it together, maybe buy it online,
Mhm.
whatever is available to us. Then you have the professional, and yes, like they do this for they make their costumes from scratch using the best kinds of materials, like the actual real leather, real like satin or whatever for their costumes, and they enter contests and they hopefully win
Striving
money.
to be as
So,
authentic
yeah,
as possible.
Yes,
So
as
what-
authentic as possible, winning money hopefully, and when they win money,
So what is your approach to buying a master sword as opposed to making one from scratch? What's your big decision with that?
this is cheap and money. Am I right? Right.
Absolutely, and as we
Look
set
for it.
this down for you, and here's another question that we have, because I think this is one of the questions that I have that's pretty universal for a lot of us artists, because you are. You recognize that there are different tiers, as you said, and you see these people that do crazy from scratch, from everything. So what keeps you doing what you want to do, even though you see people that do really crazy, over-the-top, ridiculous, screen-accurate, whatever it
It's
is?
a good point. It'd be really easy to get overwhelmed.
Is it
and
discouraging at
intimidated
all?
by that.
You know, I mean, what keeps you doing what you want to do?
Cause I get excited about the character. When I look at Sora and Link, I'm like, those are my favorite characters. How awesome would it be to dress up as them? Yes, there's all these people who are better, but wait, what? I can do it on my budget? Yes, please.
I think it's important to add because cosplay in the last few years has really become a kind of a block now. It's recognized. People know more not often than not nowadays what it is with conventions and everything.
Yeah, and
that
there's
happens.
professional
Conventions.
cosplay like websites.
And I think your comment just now about that you're excited to do it is really important to remember, because I think a lot of us get discouraged when we see people that are in a new league, kind of above us. Tim and I have talked about it before.
Yes,
When
and
you-
that's always going to happen. As you said, as you say over and over again, we're always chasing the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Always chasing the dragon.
And so, does it ever happen when you're at a convention and you run into somebody who has,
The same costume, but better.
yeah, I didn't want to
And
say,
it's just like
but better, but you
But
know.
there it
Tell
is,
us
yeah.
about that. Tell us.
my Sora costume, all Goodwill, all makeshift except for the little necklace.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it together. That is like all me. It's like not store bought. It's not like I just bought the darn costume on eBay, which you do find people doing.
Mhm.
But I'm so proud of that costume that I see people maybe who have better material, but I feel so proud of mine that I'm like, I
You
put
own
mine
it.
together. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, that person probably did too, and that's amazing. But like, I look at the store-bought ones, I'm just like, hey, that's kind of cool. You've got excitement for that character, but I have another factor that I can layer on top of that. I made my costume.
Mhm.
I feel so proud of it.
Or you handpicked every single piece of clothing, even if you didn't stitch it together.
Exactly.
And that is your personally assembled costume. And it's not just that, because you also have your shield. I think your Link shield. I think.
Yeah, I do.
I remember when you got that, and P1 had the shield that he got, and he wanted to paint it. Because it came as what, white, or it was a single color, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was the normal shield, but we were like, you know what? We want to do it black, like dark Link.
Mm.
So Tyson, our painter friend
Right.
buddy, primered it up, and then we hand painted the whole
That's
thing,
right.
and it looks fabulous.
I'm gonna grab your second
Must
aid
smell
over
now.
here, and your
Must
other
smell.
guy. But see, here's the other thing too. I saw this and I just got excited. So, where did this come from?
This
This
one
is
I
something you
made. I made this one.
No
And I made it because...
Back it up, Tim. Back up here. There we go. We gotta get this thing on the screen.
You see this key head? You see how well proportioned it is? This is all made of wood.
Okay.
I hand jigsawed that.
By hand? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude.
I was looking
fine
at the
detail.
ones online. I was like, oh, I should buy one. Oh, they're probably not that expensive. Oh, they're not really that expensive. But none of them, like, the key heads were really out of proportion. So I'm like...
That's impressive.
You know, I saw you walk into the room with this as I tap our little guy there. I was just the wow factor that kind of swooped over me when I saw it. I said, "Oh my gosh!" There was, and you're right. There's just something right because I'm also a huge Kingdom Hearts fan.
Totally.
And when I saw this, man, I was like, "Oh my god, that's great!" And especially when you're talking about from stage,
Mhm.
like how we talk about doing things like for the blind old man and the deaf old lady in the very back of the auditorium. I mean, this reads.
It's larger than life.
And even up
Hugely
close,
larger.
I mean, we're getting crazy with our details. Like I can see, paint strokes, but I mean, it feels amazing, man. To hold, we're all
It's
passing
got
it
some
around.
weight to it.
I don't want just mediocre. Like, I want it to at least look good. I want someone else to see the work that I put out and be like, that's so cool! I don't want them to be like the store-bought costumes are like, hey, it's kind of like I like this character, I'm giving a throwback to it, just to show my spirit for it.
But bring that back real fast. I want to just point out, sorry to interrupt, but before
No,
you
you're
put
fine.
this away, look at that, you hand jigsawed that? Look at how pretty much perfect those circles are. I mean, we're artists. We know how hard it is just to draw circles in the first place, let alone take a sign.
And
darn right.
And it's really refreshing. And you know what? There's a video you showed me of you as Link doing your little. Would it be okay if we throw that up?
Yeah?
Okay. Bam.
See it! See it! See it! See it! Yeah! See it! Yeah!
Wow.
Fun stuff.
I am such a dork.
No. You know what?
You're in good hands.
Yeah, you were in great hands. I have to say, and here's the point that I wanted to make. I know that there are a lot of people, and there's a new cosplay show that's on, and
Is that go ahead.
I forget where it's on, but I see you. It's great to see them documenting our process, but I see some people that just get so serious about it, and I think they're missing. Not all of them. Some of them have it, but some of them are missing the heart. When I saw you when you first showed me that video, I lit up because I said, "This is a fan. This is a guy that loves it exactly like I love it." There is you had the moves. Like I can tell you've played that game. It almost looked like it was motion capture from the game. They could have used you for motion capture, and I wouldn't have known any different. You studied it, you internalized it, you love it to the point that it's like in every fiber. And for me, that's one of the most truest forms of cosplaying, is you have the heart of the play. And that's why I really wanted to get you on here and kind of showcase you because
I roll everywhere. I go to the store. I'm like, skip,
because I'm in that I'm tier with you. I'd say. I mean, I started making a lot of things from scratch. I did a Joker costume back in 2008.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I loved it. I had a lot of fun, and I worked really hard on it. It was not perfect at all, and I've seen his costume twice in person now, so I've really had the point of reference of that's what it is supposed to look like. But it was not perfect by any means, and a lot of the materials were wrong. In fact, I think every material was wrong that I used. But
it was darn close, I'm sure.
well, I had fun doing it, and I think my friends had fun when we were all out on Halloween, and we were all doing stuff together, and I was getting in character for like a week, walking in the shoes.
Character is just as important, if not more, when it comes to cosplay. Because I mean, you can have the coolest costume, but if you do not have the character, then it just kind of falls flat. I mean, like obviously the costume is art itself, but I mean,
sure,
if you have even if you don't even have the costume, you just get in character, that will wow more people. But if you have a costume and then you have the character and like you get into it, like
Those people will
amazing.
have fun being around you.
Yeah,
People are like, hey, we're chilling with the Joker here.
I'm
We're
totally-
here.
I'm totally inspired, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything
Yeah.
else you wanted to add on to that? I mean, about doing what
Can
you
I
do?
show them? There's like a million Sora costumes, right? But none of them have pictures with Donald and Goofy.
Oh, this
From
We gotta put that on.
Disneyland!
You can't. You know the
Actually, here. So all
one.
you have to
Okay.
do is push it forward like a force push, and then your picture
There you
will
are.
come up.
Wham!
There you are, dude.
Wow, we just peaked the microphone there.
That I have to say is one of my favorite pictures I have ever seen.
I went to Disneyland and I saw Goofy. Oh, I went in Halloween, which is the only time that we can come in costumes.
Mhm.
Right.
And I saw Donald. I was like, character host, can you go grab Goofy for me? And he was like, for you, Sora, I'll go get him. And then when he went backstage and he grabbed Goofy and he was like, introducing the cast of Kingdom Hearts, Sora, Dole, and Goofy. And then Donald and Goofy came out.
And there was a rousing cheer from the lads.
And I could tell Donald and Goofy knew my character, who Sora was, because they can't talk because they're
Well, they're
saving their voice.
they're saving their voice, right?
Yeah, and I mean, they were on the adventure. They would recognize you.
Exactly.
You know?
Why wouldn't they? And they were like, oh my gosh, they were ecstatic.
You know, so I'm so the heart is what I was so inspired by, and again, having you on the show has been so refreshing for me to think about my cosplay again, because I was really discouraged and thinking about not doing it, you know, because I was no, really, because
It's so much fun.
It is, and I think it's important for you guys to be reminded of why we do these artistic things. It should resonate with you, you know, and you should do it because you love it, and you shouldn't ever really get too intimidated, because you got to go to your own stride and do your own thing as best as you do it. You know, people will recognize that heart.
Do it because you're excited. Sorry.
Right. Oh no, absolutely. I mean, what I'm realizing more and more as an artist is it's not so much about how great your stuff is that you put out, but just the fact that you love what you're putting out. Is this great romance between you and your subject matter, whether that's a character for a cosplay, or a vehicle for a video game that you're designing, or what have you.
PY, thank you so much for coming on the show. If you come back a second time, you get a sandwich.
You do.
That's the official thing. And thank you so much. And we will see you soon again in the future, I'm sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, PY. Hey guys, if you would like to reach Michael or myself, you can do so at tmi.art.productions@gmail.com.
Spoon!